It is that time again, y'all. I hope you're ready for another episode of Nation Live. This is the show where you get to ask me anything you want. I just muted my mic. This is where you get to ask me anything you want about how to advance your career, how to grow your business. It's Nez Nation Live, y'all, so make sure you come on back. Hello, welcome everybody. I hope you're doing really well. Good to see you guys. Come on in. It is Nez Nation Live. Great to see you. Come on in. And by the way, guys, it would really mean a lot to me if you could share this out. I was running a little bit late today. I apologize. I had some family stuff come up, but everything's okay. Everything's good. We're here. We're live. I'm so excited to talk to you about everything that's been going on. And let me know if I'm coming in really quickly. Let me know if how we're coming in. I see a lot of people jumping in right now. If you're new to this show, this is the show where we go live every single Sunday and I answer any question you want about business, branding, how to start and scale an online business, how to advance your career, how to get your message right, how to get your mindset right. It's really important that I try to give you as much value as possible. And so I'm here, and it looks like the picture is a little bit darker than usual. I don't know why that is. Let's kind of see if I can go in here. So I have a question too, by the way. I have a question that I'm going to be answering from somebody that I met on Clubhouse who, I don't know about you guys, but I have a video coming out again. I have another video coming out on Clubhouse, and also I do have a video currently where I talk about Clubhouse and the power of Clubhouse. I would love to hear your thoughts too. If anybody in the chat is on Clubhouse right now, let me know, because I'm calling it literally the atomic bomb on social media. The atomic bomb that has just been dropped on social media, and it's just absolutely taking the world by storm. And, there's some pros and cons, though, and I'm happy to talk about that if you want to. But there definitely are some pros and there definitely are some cons, and I'm happy to discuss that. And so I want to just say hello to Josephine. Tom Nash in the house. Good to see you, Tom Nash. And is that Luis I see? Luis, are you here, Mr. Camera Junkie? Good to see you. Dexter in the house. Good to see you, Dexter. By the way, Dexter is a member here on Nez Nation. If you want to become a member and get live perks doing membership-only live stream, it's essentially group coaching. Make sure you hit that join button down below. Is that Charlie Dog? It looks like we got Charlie Dog in the house. How you doing, Charlie Dog? Yeah, I have just been really blown away by the power of this new app. It's just been really amazing to see how this app has really kind of taken the world by storm. And, I talk about this, and I've got a new video that's coming out that I'm going to really talk in depth about a Clubhouse and if you should be on it. I'm really proud of it too. I think it's got a really good thumbnail. And so make sure you click subscribe on my YouTube channel. Make sure that you hit those notifications, because I'm going to talk in depth in a video that I'm probably going to either drop tonight or tomorrow morning. How many people want to see that video drop tonight? Give me a hashtag tonight in the chat. Or give me connect with me, Tom. You got to connect with me, man. I've been on there for 6 days straight. It's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Just click on search. There's a little search button, and that goes for everybody. Just click that little search button on the app, and then you should be able to follow me. But yeah, I'm thinking about dropping it tonight. Like when I say tonight, like maybe 3 p.m. Pacific time, which is my time, which would be 6 p.m. your time. And I literally go through all the pros, all the cons. If you're wondering at all, especially for you, Joseph, if you're wondering at all, is this the app for me? I go through everything, because there's definitely some good and bad. And I've really been dissecting this, and I researched this video thoroughly, and I'm going to drop that Looks like I'm getting a lot of tonight, so maybe I'll drop it tonight. I have no problem. I'm not even done editing it yet, but I'll finish editing it today. I got another client meeting today, but I should finish it within the next couple of hours. It's really just a talking head video. But anyway, without further ado, so good to see you. Silver Fox in the house. Yes, make sure as you're coming in, you smash that smash button. I would really, really appreciate that. Yeah, Joseph. Joseph is Dexter Media. Dexter Media, Joseph, who is just an awesome member of the Nez Nation family. So good to see you guys. So this comes from Maya on Instagram. And also, by the way, if you pay attention to the community tab, y'all, when I post the, the kind of promotion, or not the promotion, but just letting people know that I'm going to be going live soon, you can also leave questions there or DM me on Instagram. You can DM me on Instagram questions ahead of the show. And so, Maya, if you're out there, this is for you. And so Maya asks me, and I'm going to give you your Instagram handle too. I am Maya Rivers. So Maya asks, this is her question. And by the way, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. So she says, how do you build your email list through YouTube? What method do you use? Okay, so this is a great question. This is a great question. And again, if you have any questions, leave them in the chat down below. I'm happy to answer them all. Okay, so Maya, this is for you. So the best way to build your email list using YouTube, I think, is first and foremost, you got to really make sure that your videos are attracting the right kind of people. Make sure that your videos are 1 billion % optimized to the viewer, to your audience. Because, before, and I've got another, so that's step one. Okay, we're talking titles, tags, thumbnails, and really, really providing unceasing, unselfish value. And then number two is you've got to have a really powerful call to action where you literally say, like, for example, I've got a pinned comment. Hey, a curious streamer in the house. How are you? Good to see you, Channel 2 Radio. Fantastic. But it's trolling time. There he is, Tom Willis, our resident celebrity troll. He's not a troll, really. He's a good friend. But here's what you do, okay? Maya, this is for you. So the best thing that you can do when it comes to really making sure that you want to build up your email list is you want to first provide that value, then have a strong CTA, call to action. Let them know that you have a link in your description, okay, of your YouTube video that sends them over to your email list. But you can't just say, hey, join my email list. What's in it for them? Why should they join your email list? And I'll give you an example. I'll do it right now in front of everybody. Here's how I get people to go onto my email list. So I always say that if you never want to worry again about missing a video, missing a live stream, if you want to get the best content that will help you earn more, grow faster, and stress less, delivered right to your inbox, it may behoove you, it may benefit you to join our list. So notice what I'm doing there. This is really, really important. And actually, this is how you run a business, right? This is how you do anything, right? So you want to make sure that you don't make it about you, because of course we as business owners, as brands, as content creators, we want to build our email list, but you have to make it about them. What's in it for them? Why should they join your email list? So don't do that in the beginning, okay? I see a lot of creators do this. They have their call to action in the beginning. You've got to overwhelm them with amazing, amazing value, whatever that video is. And then at the end, that's when you can kind of funnel them over to your list. Now, one thing I will say, and I know a lot of people can back me up on this in the chat. One thing I will say that YouTube frowns upon is that YouTube is not a big fan of sending people off the platform. So you got to be really careful with that. Now, we talk a lot about affiliate income. You can make great affiliate income on YouTube. You can actually do, let me see if I can, I'm really kind of bummed on what's going on here with my, let me see if I can kind of, for some reason, this thing is just not, it's just not, yeah, let me just get a little bit more brighter there on the, on the webcam here. Okay. What's really important is that so you got to make sure that you're walking a tricky tightrope when it comes to links in the description. Technically, according to YouTube guidelines, sending people away from YouTube is actually frowned upon. But then how do all these people earn affiliate income? You still can do it, but you don't want to have a million links in your description. You want to really have it balanced out. And what I do, and I think this helps, even though it's never been officially mentioned, what I do that I think really, really helps is I always put YouTube videos first in my description. So I'll have like, hey, check out more videos like this. So I tell YouTube I'm thinking about you first. So YouTube gets first billing. Then I'll have my Amazon affiliates. Then I'll have my email list, etc. Really, that's the best way that I build my email list on my YouTube channel. Because here's something you might want to mention, and this is a nice little kind of not selling point, but just a talking point in your video when you do your call to action, and that is, let your audience know that they're not going to always get the notification. Even if you click subscribe on my channel, even if you click the bell notification, it's true. Tell me how many people got the notification that are here in the chat right now. Type in a 1 if you got a notification in the chat. Type in a 2 if you didn't get it. You just happened to find me on the home page or browse page, or maybe you saw me promoted on Instagram or Twitter. Give me a 1 if you actually got the notification. Okay, it looks like a curious streamer got it on Twitch. Fantastic. Very good. Okay, yeah, so, when I look at my analytics, oh, you're so sweet, Josephine. Josephine says, how come there aren't more people here? Because they're probably on Clubhouse. That's probably why. I mean, this app has taken over. This app has 1 billion%. It's so good to see you, Luis. Luis has an amazing channel, by the way. Go check out Luis. Luis is somebody who I developed an awesome connection with. Big fist bump to you, Luis. Luis is somebody who I met on Clubhouse, and I've just been blown away by his knowledge, his energy. He's just super, super intelligent, articulate. We've been involved in some of the same rooms. I've been honored to be a part of his rooms. Luis, you rock, man. I'm so happy to see you here. Okay, Dexter says 2 for some reason. See? And Dexter is a actual member of my channel, and he's been strong part of the Nez Nation family for a long, long time. So this is what I'm talking about. Use that as a selling point. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to sell you guys on joining my email list right now. It's in the pinned comment on YouTube. So Maya, check this out. If you dig what I give you, if you get value from my content and you want to get more, because I give you so much more if you join my email list. And also, I don't email you every day like a lot of people do. I mean, some of these email lists I subscribe to, they email you every single day. And so I don't do that. I'm very, very, careful not to email you all the time and just bombard your inbox. But when I do, it's absolute gold. So consider hitting that pinned comment and putting your email in there and joining my email list so you don't miss anything. So you get everything you need on how to grow faster, how to earn more money, how to build your presence, craft your story, do what you love, get yourself out of your own way. All of that delivered to your inbox for free. Yeah, that's true. But you know what? Email is, I'm telling you right now, this is a good point right here. Tom says email a lot and people see spam. Absolutely. But one thing I want to be very careful not to say. Hey, BB, good to see you. What is gone? Tell me what's gone. Thank you so much, Dexter. Dexter says, best newsletter that hits my inbox. Love it, Dexter. You're the man. Luis is in the house. We got Luis from Tech for Your Needs. Good to see you, Luis. Make sure you smash that smash button. A lot of people keep saying email marketing is dead. A lot of people keep saying, no, man, email's not where it's at. Forget email. They are dead wrong. They are dead wrong. And so don't listen to that. Email is still one of the most viable. I think it's one of the keys to really having ownership over your audience. I've said this in some of the Clubhouse rooms. And so whoever says email marketing is dead, I would strongly really examine that for yourself and question that. Okay, so Maya, I hope that helped you. I hope that brought a lot of value to all you guys. Lucy is in the house. Good to see you, Lucy. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that smasher. Okay, Dexter Media had a question. And by the way, leave your questions in the comments down below. If you're just joining us right now, you're watching Office Hours with yours truly. I am your personal branding coach, executive career coach, online business strategist. We go live every single Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Office Hours. And by the way, if you didn't, so just to give you a quick kind of, just to give you like a quick kind of overview, and Dexter, I'm going to put your question up right now, Joseph. But just to give you kind of a quick overview, we have two kind of formats for our live stream podcast. And yes, it is a podcast, so it's like having the best branding and business university in your eardrums. So make sure you go and subscribe to our podcast. Number 1 rated personal branding podcast. We have over 110, 112, 5+ 5-star reviews. So go check out our podcast. I'll leave links in the description. But if you're on Apple and Spotify, just search Professor Nez. You see this logo, subscribe to our podcast, because the Daryl Eves interview just published a couple days ago on our podcast. He was the first interview guest that we had in 2021. And I'm telling you right now, I watched it the other day, late at night after my kids went to bed, and I was literally taking notes. He was dropping insane liquid hot magma. I mean, liquid hot magma. Wisdom bombs. That was a lot. That was a mouthful. But like literally, I couldn't believe the information that he was sharing about how to grow your YouTube channel in 2021. So make sure you go listen to the podcast because it's up. It's the latest episode. It is straight up fire. I mean, straight up fire. Okay, Dexter. Dexter says, maybe this will be addressed. Can you use Clubhouse as a profit tool for me? Can I use, okay, so I'm going to dissect soon, but it can be used for a tool for, okay, so this is exactly what I talk about in my video. It's exactly what I talk about in my video. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Silver Fox. Good to see George Fisher. George Fisher in the house. Good to see you, man. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so a couple of things about Clubhouse. And this isn't why I did it at all. I did it because being around people like Luis and being around people like, everybody in this room, it was really about connections. And this app is just, it's all about, things have a lot to do with timing. One of my favorite quotes is from Thomas Jefferson. And he says, I am a big believer in luck. And it usually comes, the more I get more lucky, the harder I work. And so this is really, really important. The timing of this app is absolute perfection. The timing of this app is absolute perfection. It couldn't have come at a more apt time because, no pun intended, because literally, I'm not even kidding you guys, and you can feel this too. There is a hunger for connection. People are starving for connection right now. And so this is one of the reasons why I go live every Sunday is because I want to connect with my peeps, my Nez Nation family, bringing more humanness to this digitalness. And so you have to say it like that. It's got to have a little spice. But, this app, it really promotes that connection and relationship building. And it's just been so much fun. It's been so much. I mean, Mr. Beast was dropping knowledge on YouTube. Gary Vaynerchuk is in there. These amazing multi-8-figure, 9-figure YouTubers like Preston and Collins Key and What's Inside are dropping knowledge in there. I'm still waiting for Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD, because I know he's gonna have to. There's no way he's not hearing about Clubhouse. And he's not on Clubhouse yet, but I know there's going to be a room. I am making this prediction right now. I think Marquez Brownlee is going to be in a room, and it's going to break the app. I think it will literally break the app, because he'll probably have Casey Neistat in there or something like that, or Ninja. He'll probably have a couple of people in that room, and you're not even going to be able to get into it. You won't be able to get into the room because the room will literally break the server. There's going to be so many people trying to get into that room. And if you're first in there, if you're a first opt-inner, holy mackerel, you're going to be in for the ride of your life because you're literally going to get $1 million advice for free. So that's one. Number two, Dexter, to answer your question more directly, I've heard rumblings from the founders that they're thinking about adding a donate button on Clubhouse, which is, something that you can, I don't know if that's a good idea. I see some people post their Stripe account or their Venmo handle or their PayPal handle. I'm not sure if that's a good idea either, but why not? If people want to donate, if they're getting a ton of value. But I'll tell you this, here's the best way to monetize the app, and that's this. And I've actually accrued 4 or 5 clients brand new. I'm telling you right now, and I say this in the video, and I had zero intention of this. I just wanted to go connect with creators and be as helpful and informative, and because I love helping people. I love inspiring people. That's another reason why I'm here, and I appreciate you guys right now. And so I actually think, you know what, Luis? You know what? No, you know what? That's going to change. NLTMW, never let the machine win. I love that name of your channel, brother. Cool. I'm going to check out your channel after this. Mere mortals, anyone on Android can't get in. That's got to change. And right now you do have to have iOS. But I'm telling you, that's got to change. Luis says, Mr. Beast tried and it didn't break. I actually think, Luis, and I know this is a bold prediction. You may not believe me, but I actually think that if Marquez gets on there, I think it's going to break. I really, truly do. As popular as Mr. Beast is, I think his audience, Mr. Beast's audience, is more of the younger Gen Z kind of audience. It's more of a younger audience. I mean, my kids love Mr. Beast and they're 9 and 8. I'm not saying that he doesn't appeal to people older than that. He does. But I think Marquez I really think he appeals to creators mostly and people of all ages. I really think he does, from young to old, especially maybe people my age, because I don't make a purchase, and I'm an Apple dude, I'm a Mac dude. I don't make a purchase until I watch him review it first. I literally don't. I mean, if he doesn't give an okay on the review or somebody like him, I mean, there's a couple other tech YouTubers that I love. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Camera Junkie, Luis, but you're a tech channel as well, correct? Leave that in the chat. Let me know. Go subscribe to Luis's channel. Luis is just phenomenal. He's doing great work. But yeah, they're gonna actually change. They have to change that. There's no way, because they're cutting out so much audience. There's no way they're gonna make this just for iOS. So the developers have got to be working on this probably right now as we speak. So Joseph, here's how I've monetized it without even trying to monetize it, just by going into the rooms and literally just being 100% capital R real. My Instagram has grown 50%. I mean, not 50%, but it feels like that. My Twitter following has grown. My subscribers have grown. And I've got my DMs literally have increased by 1,000%. The DMs I'm getting on Instagram of people saying, I want to connect, of people saying, can I hire you? I've literally accrued 5 new clients in the last week. And I've only been on the app for maybe 10 days. If I really want to, seriously, I was nominated or whatever, invited 3-4 weeks ago. But when I first went on the app, I didn't like it because it just felt like everybody was praising each other and talking over each other. And it just seemed like a big ego fest. But then I found the right rooms. Luis was in that room. I found the right room. We're talking about Clubhouse, Gage and Gadgets, probably what I'm calling the atomic bomb that has dropped on social media. And so without trying to monetize, Joseph, I mean, I told my wife this because my wife gives me dirty looks all the time. She's like, dude, you're on that app 24/7. I go, I know. I apologize, sweetie. It's not, I'm not even, and I've been trying to kind of scale back the addictiveness of it because I know everybody right now is feeling that FOMO and that addictiveness, right? And so, I was even thinking of doing a live kind of just adding Clubhouse to this live show, but I don't want to do that. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I've seen other people do that, and Clubhouse is meant for conversation, not just another platform to promote. It's meant for conversation. Yeah, Luis, you guys, Luis has been me since Periscope days, 2015. And Luis Vega is a new connection, which I just freaking love this guy. Fantastic. And I love Josephine. I love all you guys. It's just fantastic to see you guys. But lately on the app, I've been building new connections, and I think you can too. And so I hope that helps, Joseph. It's really, to be honest with you, it's the same thing with anything, right? It's the same thing with building any kind of revenue stream. Is it has to be something that serves and delivers to whomever you're trying to reach. And it should be a win-win situation, which is this is how I kind of frame affiliate marketing too, is, affiliate marketing is literally you getting money from a product that maybe you don't even own, because you vouch for it and your audience clicks on that link and you get a commission, right? Well, it should be a win-win situation. Why? Because it should be a product or service or whatever that you stand by, that aligns with your brand and aligns with your principles. And by you vouching for that, you're actually helping your audience say, hey, I'm going to save you some time. Instead of searching for a podcast mic, instead of going all over the place and figuring out what is the best, camera, or what is the best gear, or what is the best whatever cooking utensil, here, I use this camera, I use this cooking utensil, etc. And I'll leave a link in the description. It should be a win-win situation, right? So the reason I'm bringing up that example is it's the same thing with building a business. It's the same thing with sales. Everybody gets worried and freaks out when you hear the word sale and selling. You have to sell to have a business. You have to have customers and clients to have a business. You have to have traffic and you have to have conversion. You have to have a great offer, but it should be a win-win. What do I mean by that? You need to believe in that product more than anybody on the planet. And if you express and offer that product, your audience is going to feel that you really stand behind that product or service. And it's a win-win for them because it's something they need. If you believe in the product or service, you're able to express why you believe in that product and service and convert people who need that to solve whatever problem they have. Whatever product or service that you issue or that you produce is a beautiful solution to their problem. That's win-win. You get business, you can sustain yourself, and they get something that helps them with their problem. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. Thank you, Scully. Scully, House of Thrillers. So Scully says, loved your video on Clubhouse. So I have one video right now. Thank you, Scully. It's great to see you, man. And you want to talk about another great creator. See, this is what I love about the Nez Nation family. You don't just get me, y'all. You don't just get me, who's been in the online game for 2 decades. You don't just get me, who eats, sleeps, and breathes and obsesses over creating content that helps inspire you. You don't just get that. I literally, from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, I obsess over what is it that I can create that can help and inspire my audience. What is it? Oh, here comes the sneeze. Okay, let me see the hashtags. Snez Nation. I never sneeze until I go live. It's like literally, I need to have that emoji. Dexter, have you tried the new emojis? There's a couple new emojis on there for members only. I would love for you to try it so I can see what it looks like. But, that was one of those sneezes that kind of hurts your whole body. I don't know what it is. But for some reason, every time I go live, where's Sweeney? We need Sweeney here. Every time I go live, I have to sneeze. But yeah, thank you, Scully. So that was a video that I did. I can't remember. It was a couple of days ago, but I've got a brand new elbow cuff. 2 times. That was a video that I did. Oh, love it, Dexter. Yes, those are the emojis. Yeah, those are the new emojis. I love it. Yeah, fantastic. Oh, they look so good. I'm looking at them right now. They look so good. For some reason on StreamYard, they don't translate when I bring them up on StreamYard. But if you go on YouTube, it looks really, really cool. Thank you so much, Dexter. You're the man, Dexter. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. And I have a special offer for you, Dexter, being my first member. I have a special offer for you. So DM me on Instagram. I'll tell you what that is. But so I've got a new video coming out too, Scully. Scully, I've got a new video coming out. Where I kind of talk about the pros and cons, because there's definitely cons. Everybody's talking about how great it is I'm not sure how many people are talking about the negatives of Clubhouse. And so if you have FOMO over this app, I'm going to quench your thirst. I'm going to quench your FOMO with this video. And I'm going to drop it. I've already decided I'm going to drop it today. I'm going to drop it today. I don't care. I'm going to drop it today. Probably 2 or 3 p.m. my time, Pacific time, which would be 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to drop it today. Why? Because I just feel like it. And so, yes, super sneezer, exactly. Yeah, my sneezes kind of wake up the neighborhood, so that's why I mute it. You guys don't need to hear that. It's kind of a loud, bassy sneeze. And so, yeah, so you should check that video out. It's going to drop tonight. I think it's one of my best videos on kind of this versus that, explaining kind of an app, almost like it's not a tutorial on how to use it. It's literally my reaction to and my sort of analysis of the app and what it does. So yeah, that's one of them right there. Yeah, Scully, it's definitely a time suck. That's for sure. Yeah, Josephine says, I already saw fast trackers on Clubhouse. Yeah, see, those guys are everywhere, right? Like the kind of follow for follow, sub for sub. I don't get that at all. These are the people who really believe in vanity metrics and, it's not about that. I don't care if I have 50 followers. I don't care if I have 100,000 followers on that app. It's not about that. It's about the connections. It's about the people. It's about Josephine. It's about Luis. It's about Dexter. It's about Scully. It's about, everybody who, comes and checks out and hangs out and learns and inspire. It's about inspiration. That's what it's really about. And so does anybody else have any other questions too? Please leave your questions down below. If you're just joining us, you are watching Office Hours with yours truly. It's a brand new year. It's a brand new month. We go live every Sunday, Office Hours, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you hit that notification. Make sure you subscribe. And then we also bring on guests, okay, for you guys, experts in their field. And we had just an amazing guest who I call the YouTube master, Daryl Eves, was on our show very recently. And that has already gone up on the podcast. You can also watch the replay on YouTube as well. But I highly recommend that you check out the podcast episode because you can just, listen to it and, it's much more convenient because, and you really want to listen carefully and not even be distracted by any of the visuals because he literally breaks down the YouTube formula. If anybody here is serious about YouTube growth, you have to listen to that episode. And I couldn't be more grateful. Daryl, if you're watching, I couldn't be more grateful for him coming on the show and being our first interview guest on the Nez Nation live stream podcast for 2021. Just super, super stoked. And we've got a lot of great guests coming too, by the way. We've got a lot of great guests coming. So you want to make sure you subscribe. You want to make sure you hit that bell notification. It's super, super important. Just Sampson in the house. How are you doing, Just Sampson? Great to see you, sir. Hope everything's great over in Trabuco Canyon. You're in Santa Ana. You're in Anaheim Hills, correct? I'm probably getting that wrong. I apologize. But you're not that far from me. And so it's great to see you, Just Sampson. I came in just before the Clubhouse segment. What molten info were you talking about? I was talking about what Daryl Eves was dropping when I was talking about the liquid hot magma on the show. But, that's what I was referring to. But yeah, everybody's talking about Clubhouse, and Clubhouse is something that is taking over the world. It's taking over the entire social media world. And so Yorba Linda. Okay. Thank you so much, Just Sampson. Fantastic. That's great. And so look at this. Luis says he listened to it live, watched the replay. Dude, I watched the replay like 4 times. My wife is like, why are you watching your own show? And I'm like, because you have to rewind because Daryl goes really fast And Daryl, he just has such amazing info. And so my head is totally twisted now because, especially the part he talks about SEO and search, and he almost denigrates people who are like quote unquote optimizers. When he kind of debunks the myth that YouTube is all about YouTube search and you should only optimize for keywords and things like that. And he does it in a real way. He does it in a very powerful way. And so I watched that replay already 2 to 3 times. If you have any questions about YouTube, feel free to ask me because, I have been obsessing, studying, eat, sleep, and breathing YouTube, especially for the whole entire year of 2020. But I've been on YouTube since 2016, really didn't take it seriously till probably 2018. And my growth has just skyrocketed. And I know I'm going to get to 10,000 subs in less than a couple of months. Probably by May, I'll get to 10,000 subs. And then I'm hoping to double that by the end of the year. I'd love to get to 20,000 subs by the end of the year. And it's not about subs, but it's about reaching more people, inspiring more people, and that growth. And I'm obsessed with that. And so it's really, really fun. And if you have any questions at all about YouTube, please let me know. Darlene on LinkedIn. Good to see you, Darlene. Fantastic. I didn't want to see you go. Okay, Luis has a question about YouTube, sounds like. Oh, I love this. If you have any questions about YouTube, I'm your man. So Luis says, if you do your call to action at the end of the video, how can you keep the viewer long enough to pitch it? Oh, yeah, this is it. Well, this is what Daryl talks about. This is a great question, Luis. This is what Daryl talks about. He says, instead of worrying about SEO and search, it's all about the content. It's all about the content, which is title, thumbnail, right? And the video. So having audience retention strategies are super, super important. So you need to always be thinking in your editing and your shooting, especially in your editing, how can I keep the viewer longer? As a matter of fact, let me take that back. Not especially in the editing. Even before you hit record, you need to, I think of a strategy, think of a plan on how you can keep them longer. So I'll give you an example of how I do that. And I'm always dissecting audience retention strategies, because the 2 biggest metrics on YouTube that you need to worry about, the 2 biggest that YouTube cares about is CTR, click-through rate, and average view duration. That's how you get on suggested. That's how you get on recommended. And Daryl says that 75% of views on YouTube come from browse features, home features, or, subscription feed, etc. What does that tell you? That tells you that what YouTube follows is viewer behavior patterns. Okay. And so if you're creating videos that people want to see and people watch for a very, very long time, YouTube goes, okay, we're going to include this guy's channel into their viewing behavior patterns. So you're going to get pushed to their home feed. You're going to get pushed to recommended, suggested. And then what he was saying is if you do a good job of getting onto those 2 or 3 traffic sources, they don't need to search. This is it's like profound. And he's literally saying that's the key to growth. And this guy has, 15 gold play buttons, 100 silver play buttons. He has 50 plus billion views. He's helped channels get to 50 plus billion views. I mean, he's saying he's Mr. Beast's coach, YouTube coach. That says it all right there. And so he's basically saying that you need to worry about creating amazing content that people want to watch. And so you, in order to make sure that they're there at the end for your CTA, you need to figure out, you literally need to dissect, Luis, and everybody watching, who is your audience? Get really deep. What are their interests? What are they feeling? What are they going through? What do they need? What are their problems? What are their challenges? Not just demographic, like age, income, etc., ethnicity, but like psychographic stuff, like their hobbies, what they love, what they hate, what they are interested in, etc. And so that's what he was saying. And I think I've been doing it wrong for a long time. I mean, I knew what Daryl was talking about before he came on the show, but when the first couple of years I was on YouTube, and I told him this on the show, because I know Luis watched it too. Viewer retention is everything. Viewer retention is absolutely everything. Absolutely true. So what I was telling him, what I was telling you guys too, was that, from 2016 to basically 2018, maybe even into 2019, I was just kind of SEOing the crap out of everything. Keyword, and just slapping it up there. And I was doing way too much long form content. And I wasn't doing as much short form content. And I would say that, because YouTube has implemented shorts, and Daryl says that, YouTube is petrified of TikTok. I apologize, TikTok. That short form content is really going to be big in 2021. But he also said that live streaming, YouTube Live, is getting a big push. That actually YouTube has contracted creators and given them like 8-figure deals to really push YouTube Live, and gaming. YouTube gaming is getting big. And so to answer your question in short, Luis, it's really important when you're shooting your video. So I'm just going to give you an example. Here's an example. So when I do like a top 10, remote jobs that you can do from home, what I'll usually do in the beginning of the video is I will really make sure that A, the hook is strong. B, I don't waste time talking about myself because nobody cares. C, I don't waste time with CTAs and telling them who I am. I used to do this. I used to start every video, I'm Professor Nez, I'm this, I'm that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They want to get to the content. Get to the content really quick. And then the retention strategies that I've been implementing is saying things in the video like, make sure you stick around to the end because I've got a bonus. Make sure you stick around to the end. The video that I'm going to publish today is a perfect example of retention strategies, Luis, because I literally say these are the pros and cons of Clubhouse, and then wait till the end. Stick around to the end because I'm going to give you my personal opinion, my assessment, data-backed and researched, of whether or not you should be on this app. So that gives the end user, the viewer, the impression that, hey, he's going to give me a lot of valuable information, but I want to really make sure I get to the end. Building that tension is really important for retention strategy. Storytelling, where you have a climax at the end of your video. I know a lot of you guys do, maybe not how-to, but a lot of people do vlogs, family channels, storytelling, cinematic stuff too. Building that tension. It's the storytelling arc, right? The rising action, and then you have that climactic moment, and then things kind of resolve. It's the same thing with your YouTube videos. So building that tension, like, hey, I'm going to get to something really, really good. Make sure you stick around. But also, just on a simple thing, Luis, just make sure that every minute, every second of your video is catered to your audience. And I mean that. Literally every millisecond needs to be dedicated to your audience's behavior pattern and what they're into, and serving them. No self-promotion, nothing that doesn't, I'm doing this live, and so I go off on tangents all the time, right? You can't do that in a video. Live, you can kind of get away with that, at times, even though I try not to do it too much. Live, you can kind of get away with a lot of imperfection, not in your pre-recorded content, especially if you want to grow. And so Daryl Eves says that, Professor Nez, is the key to growth. They got to click. I don't care how good your video is. If they don't click, it doesn't matter. You could be Steven Spielberg. You could be Martin Scorsese. If they don't click, it doesn't matter. You got to win the click. But then what do you do with it once you win the click? You've got to deliver on the promise that your title and thumbnail expressed. And then that's where you get into the nitty gritty, really being economical. This is something I'd like to say. Be economical with your video. Less is more. And don't make it about yourself. Make it all about them. And it's a constant struggle, by the way, Luis. I'm still struggling. I feel like I'm one of the best communicators on planet Earth. I'm not saying that narcissistically. Honestly, I'm not saying that with ego. I believe in myself. I have the audacity to believe in myself. I mean, I still teach business communications at some of the top universities in the world. I eat, sleep, and breathe language. I'm an author. So communication is my thing. And let me just curb my narcissism for a second. There's a lot of things I'm bad at. There's a ton of things I'm bad at. And I admit that. But when it comes to this, when it comes to communication, I feel like I'm one of the best on the planet, if not the best. And I'm even telling you that I struggle every single day. There's this new Tiger Woods documentary on HBO, and it was really, really interesting. Great to see you. Great to see you, Scully. Thank you so much. It's really, really great to see you. Thank you for being here, brother. Thank you so much, Samson. Really, really appreciate it. I actually was watching a little bit of this documentary last night. And, Tiger, you all know Tiger Woods, and whether you like him or not, I'm not here to, my wife hates him, by the way, if that helps. She can't stand him because of the scandal and everything, and rightfully so. I respect everybody's opinion. I wasn't watching it because of that. I was watching it because of his study and his scientific method of becoming the best golfer in the world. One of the things that was so interesting, and I think that is a big takeaway for YouTubers and anybody creating content, is that, people would criticize him and say, Tiger, you're practicing way too much. You're going to burn out. Like, you've got literally the perfect golf swing. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you? This was early in his career when he was winning tournament after tournament after tournament, leaving everybody in the dust. This is in the early days. And he always said, I can always get better. I can always get better. I'm not satisfied. He was never, literally, there were golf experts. Like, these guys are like, they've been in golf for hundreds of years. They've seen every great golfer, Jack Nicklaus, every great golfer come and go. And they're literally saying that Tiger Woods has the perfect swing. It can't get any better. And he's saying, no, you're wrong. It can always get better. I think it doesn't even matter if he's reaching perfection or if he gets to perfection or if perfection exists or not. The point is the pursuit of perfection. That's what I want to share with you guys. That has literally made the difference in my success or unsuccess, failure, what have you, is my pursuit of always being an eternal learner. I may talk a lot of things about myself, and I may talk myself up, but please make sure you smash that smash button. Love it, Silver Fox. Thank you so much. It's really, really important. I love those emojis. I love those emojis. Dexter, I love it. It's so, so cool. It's so great. Flash in your pan. Yeah, baby. Look at that. It's hashtag Flash Fam in the house. Good to see you, brother. So good to see you. I hope you have a flash in your pan, my friend. Great channel over there. You want to talk about live streamers, man. Flash is one of the best in the business. So go check out his channel. He's got a great live stream, lively group. Say hello to all the boys for me, Flash. I really miss you guys, man. It's been insane on my end, just holding things down in Southern California. We're number one in COVID. We're literally ground zero with COVID, and I've just been super locked down. Super locked down. We haven't gone really anywhere. Because I got a wife who has respiratory issues, and my mother-in-law, my parents are in their, very old. And so we've had to really, really be careful, but it's so good to see you, Flash. Hashtag Flash Fam in the house. So yeah, the pursuit of perfection. There is no such thing as perfection, but I love the pursuit of it. And so another thing that Daryl Eve said when he was on the show, he said, one advice that he gave was try to do, and Mr. Beast does this, try to pick one thing, every single video that you do, try to improve on one thing for the next video. And by doing that, it's literally just the action that you take. It's literally just adopting that mentality of not never being satisfied, but just always trying to get better. Because I don't like that about myself either. I'm very hypercritical on myself, and I know a lot of us creators are. And if we're overcritical, it can stifle us. And so I'm never satisfied with a video. I always think I could have done better, but I understand that, uploading is more important than perfection, and putting yourself out there is much better than overthinking. And so I still post, I still post regularly. I still put out content every single day practically, even though I'm never satisfied. I don't think that's a good thing. But what I would like for us to kind of, what I think is a good takeaway, is the pursuit of that, always trying to get better, because complacency is literally death. As soon as you get complacent, it's game over. Okay, I've seen it happen. Not only with creators that I love, but with clients. And these are professionals. I mean, these are professional businesses. I work with big businesses. I work with small SMBs, small businesses, solopreneurs. Complacency is the death, right? And if you want to, one thing that's really, really interesting is, if you have any mindset questions too, I talk a lot about anxiety and mindset on my channel too. Feel free. Good to see you, Ahmed. Fantastic. How do you control your OCD? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Oh, look at this. Dexter. Dexter has a great quote from Harriet Beecher Stowe. Never give up, for that is just the time and place that the tide will turn. Yeah, I love that. I think that's absolutely fantastic. So it's that pursuit, right, of always trying to get better. I think that's the big takeaway. Is always trying to get better and not be too critical of yourself, but don't be complacent because complacency. And the thing that I was going to say before I get to another question, the thing that I was going to say was that oh God, I just lost it. Come on back. Let me knock on my head a little bit. Oh, this is what I was going to say. If you want to be a YouTuber, if you want to be a live streamer, if you want to be a content creator, if you want to be a TikToker, don't just say you want to do it, right? Just don't do it for its own sake. Take the time to study and take the time to learn your craft. If it amazes me how many clients I have that, it just absolutely amazes me how many clients I have that will say, I want to have my a presence on YouTube. Okay, fantastic. Why? What have you seen from you? Do you watch YouTube videos? Do you check them out? What do you like about YouTube? And they say, no, I don't watch YouTube videos. I've never watched a YouTube video. I just want to have a presence on there. Okay, I get it, but one of the things that would really, really help is that you actually check out the platform that you want to be a part of and actually see what's working, what's not working. And don't just always think that somebody else can do it for you, because even if somebody else does it for you, you have nothing to compare it to. You have nothing to measure it by, and you won't be able to give it a good assessment because you don't know anything about the platform. And so this is where I see a lot of businesses get ripped off, is they just hire somebody to do it for them, and they have no idea whether it's good or bad because they're saying, well, I don't watch YouTube, but I know I need to be on YouTube. Well, not necessarily, not all the time. And so for us as creators, it's important that we check out, if you want to be on LinkedIn, what's working on LinkedIn? You want to be on YouTube, what's working on YouTube? You want to be on TikTok, what's working on TikTok? It's important to check that out and test it out for yourself. Yes, absolutely. Put yourself out there. Okay, Ahmed says, how do you control your OCD? I never control it. I try to go beyond it. And I've recognized that OCD is an illusion, okay? Anxiety is that kind of ghostly fear monger, that is not true. So calling fear on its bluff, calling OCD on its bluff. And, what OCD will tell you is that if you don't wash your hands or if you don't turn the knob, something will happen to you, right? It's mostly ritualistic. And then there's also the pure obsession OCD, which is, and again, I want to caveat all this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a clinical whatever. This is just my experience. I've studied the mind for over 2 decades, and I can answer any question about anxiety, depression, and OCD and what have you, because I've literally not only gone through it and practiced it and studied it, but I've researched the crap out of it, and I've really done a ton of work to understand this thing between your ears. Tommy Pavia in the house. Tommy Pavia in the house. Good to see you, brother. You want to talk about energy, man. Tommy Pavia's got the serious energy. So, Ahmed, I hope this answers your question, but it's really important to call fear on its bluff. If you get a thought that says you have to do this or else, you need to escape, fight or flight, you need to get out of there or else you're going to die, or else you're going to not breathe, or else something bad's going to happen to your family, or what else. Call fear on its bluff. The more you call him on his bluff, he will leave you alone. I'm giving fear a kind of, sort of human kind of intonation, but it's literally that's what it is. Fear is an illusion. There's natural fear, like if you are in the woods and there's a bear in front of you, you're not going to have to think if this is real or not. Your legs are going to move without your consent. You're going to run no matter what. I'm talking about the kind of anxiety that's chronic and gets in your own way, right? And is constantly telling you suck. It's that dude inside your head who is constantly telling you that you're less than who you are. You're never going to get over this. You're da-da-da-da-da-da. You need to do this and this and this. And it's crippling, right? That's the psychological mind. And so by really, I like what Louise says. I really like what Louise says. Louise says here, danger is real. Fear also not real. How you face danger, fear it or face it. Yeah, I mean, really calling it on its bluff and facing it is absolutely the way to do it. It's to really not give in to that flight and really fight it. And when I say fight it, I don't mean try to get rid of the obtrusive thoughts and intrusive thoughts, but not allow them to have any power over you. Here's the key to anxiety thoughts and thoughts that you obsess over. With a lot of OCD, it can kind of be like that. You are not the thought, okay? So thoughts come and go. Everything comes and goes, right? But you are here beyond the thought. And so don't worry about thoughts. Thoughts, we have 50,000 thoughts a day. If we took every thought that popped in our heads seriously, we'd go insane. And so you have the power to interpret those thoughts or not to identify with those thoughts. More importantly, you have the power not to allow them thoughts to have sway over you. Now, I'm saying this after 2 decades of practice. And so if you start to go try to implement this, what's going to happen is you're going to see a little small increase in confidence, and you're going to be like, wow, this actually works. But then time will pass and you'll be like, oh my God, here it comes again. It's back. It's even worse than it was before. And so this takes vigilance. This takes constant practice. This takes really being centered and following through on the conviction and the commitment that you are not going to let fear win. Okay. And I promise you, this too shall pass, just like everything else in life. This too shall pass. I promise you that. If it comes and goes, how can it be real? If it comes and goes, how could it? Think about this. Everything comes and goes, right? Fear comes and goes. Happiness comes and goes. Good times, bad times, dark, night, summer, spring, life, death. Everything comes and goes. I don't want to get too deep on this, but I talk a lot about this on my channel. What doesn't come and go? What's there before the thought? You need to discover this. I can't show you. I can't tell you. You need to discover this. Go somewhere quiet. Get away from the family. Go outside. Go near the creek or out in the woods or something like that and just practice this and ruminate on this. Don't think. Don't analyze, but just ruminate on that. What is Nez talking about? Everything comes and goes, but there's something here that witnesses all this coming and going. That's who you are. That's who we all are. Underneath all the kind of myriad of changes, male, female, boyfriend, girlfriend, worker, business owner, all the labels, underneath everything, we're all the same. We are all the same. We are all God inside. And I don't say God in the Christian sense, whatever your definition of that is. Some people call it the universe. Some people call it the force. Some people call it, whatever you want to call it. You can still call it God or Jesus or Allah, Muhammad, whatever. But we are all that thing inside, underneath all those labels. And so if you discover this truth about who you really are, which is you are not your thoughts, you are not your anxiety, you are not your fear, if you go really deep into that, your whole world will change and you will never, ever have problems again. You'll still experience pain because pain is inevitable, but you'll never suffer again. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice. Think about that. You can't go through life as a human being without experiencing pain. It's literally impossible. You can't go through life without experiencing pain. And guess what? Pain is okay. There's nothing wrong with pain. Suffering is a choice. What's the difference? Pain arises, okay, and we experience it. Suffering happens when we interpret the pain to mean something. We say, oh, okay, she broke up with me, for example. That must mean, so that's pain. It sucks when somebody you really dig breaks up with you. But here comes suffering. This must mean you have Oedipal complex. This must mean you're weak. This must mean you're stupid. This must mean you're not worthy. That's where the interpretation of the pain causes suffering. You have power over the interpretation. You don't have power over the pain. It's how you interpret it. And I hate to break it to you, but there's a lot of things in life you have zero power over, right? I mean, I could have been born in Tunisia. I could have been African American. I could have been a female. I could have been a midget. I could have been anything. I don't know where my interests come from. I don't know why I love this more than anything. I don't know why I obsess over the things I obsess over. I have no idea why I like strawberries. They taste good, yeah, but why do they taste good to me? And somebody else, they taste like garbage. There's 1,000,006 things that you have zero control over in your life. Your sovereignty is your ability to choose what you give attention to. Your attention is your power. So you electrify those anxiety thoughts with attention, and that's how they have power, and they keep coming back and back and back and over and over and over. It's super, super important. That's literally all you need to know about mindset and anxiety. That's literally the whole kit and caboodle. I just gave it to you. That's literally the whole kit and caboodle. You don't need anything else. You don't even need to watch any more of my videos. I go in depth. With this on a lot of videos on my channel, but you don't even need to watch them because I just gave it to you. That's everything right there. Thank you so much, Dexter. Tommy says, give energy and time to the positive. Yes. Yes, beautiful. See, you guys get it. I absolutely love this. I absolutely love this. You guys are on fire. Are you talking to me, Dexter? My other channel? I don't have another channel. If you're talking to me. I love it. By the way, if you're just joining us right now, please make sure you hit that like button. You're watching Office Hours with yours truly. This is a show where we go live every single Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where I answer all your questions. Leave your questions in the comments down below. Any questions at all. I am your personal branding coach, mindset, messaging. Please leave your questions in the comments down below. Holy macadamia nut. Have we actually been live for an hour and a half? Oh, no, just a little bit over an hour. Okay, fantastic. Very, very cool. Rougie, am I late? You're always late. No, I'm kidding. You're not late. That's just a joke. Flash says, I do wish my rheumatoid arthritis, is that what that is, would leave my body, but I think I have to learn to live with that. Yeah, rheumatoid arthritis is not fun. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Silver Fox, follow me here. Okay, cool. You guys are talking to each other. BB, thank you so much. Thank you so much, BB. Any other questions at all? Questions at all about mindset, branding, business, starting a business, growing a brand, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, podcasting? I don't care what it is. I'm here to ask. You can ask me anything. Josephine really took that literally. Do you think peanuts are nuts? I have no idea. You literally just took that. You took that literally. I love it. Josephine, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad you're a part of the Nez Nation family now. And I apologize for the terrible quality of the video. It's just awful. I don't know what happened here. I usually have better quality than that, but I think I'm having a little bit of problem with my Logitech Brio here. It's just not showing up well at all. And I've been kind of having some more problems. It looks very gray and dismal. I don't know why. So I apologize about that. I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea if a peanut is a peanut or not. I have no idea, but I know they taste good. Josephine has another. I do have a how-to on Clubhouse, Tommy. Go check out my channel. I do. I have a how-to on Clubhouse, and I'm going to be dropping another video. If you're late, I'm going to be dropping another video tonight on really analyzing the pros and cons of whether or not you should be on Clubhouse. That's going to be dropping tonight. How do you come up with social media strategy? How do you know what platforms to go for? Do a lot of testing. Find out where you get a lot of engagement. Find out where your audience is. Sometimes, I hate it when people say, you need to discover your audience. Go where your audience goes. Well, sometimes you don't know where they are. So test it out. It depends on how bad you want it. It depends on your goals. But test it out. Like try, Facebook. Try a little Instagram. Try YouTube. Try them all. I think you should try TikTok. Why not? It also depends on what your goals are with social media. Like, what do you want to try to do? If it's just to grow likes and followers, I don't know really if there's any value in just growing random followers and likes. If you actually want to grow your presence and engage and grow a thriving community, that's awesome. Excuse me. If you want to grow your business, grow your brand, that's awesome. If you want to grow your impact, that's awesome. And so if you love to inspire people and help people, that's awesome. So it's really important that you test out. And so I've been in this game for a very, very long time. And, I have found that my main audiences and where I get the most engagement is on YouTube, LinkedIn, and my podcast. I'm still on Facebook, Instagram, and other places, and Twitter. But I use them for different tools and different reasons. But I am pretty much 1,000,000,000% all in on YouTube, especially over the last couple of years. And so I'm really getting the most engagement on my YouTube channel. LinkedIn is where my business kind of eats, sleeps, and breathes. And I love LinkedIn, but I'm really going all in. I love creating content on YouTube. I've been kind of playing around with TikTok a little bit. But Josephine, do you wear mascara? No, I don't. I get that. I've been getting that my whole life. And I apologize for my hair. I haven't gotten a haircut in literally like 7 months. But no, I get that all the time. Do you wear mascara or eyeliner? I don't. I just have really thick eyelashes. It comes from my my Turkish father. It comes from that kind of background. Yeah. So it really depends on where you want to. Oh, very cool. Very cool. So it really depends. Where I think I'm really interested in I'm really interested in making sure that it's important to tell people to test. You should be testing out. What tools? Okay, Dexter has a great question. What tools do you depend on to organize your brand? What do you do during the day planning? So here's how I'll give you exactly a day in the life of. So I literally start my day, with a lot of coffee. And then I listen to podcasts that I love while I'm checking emails, checking in with clients, returning emails, organizing my whole day. I've got client meetings pretty much all throughout the week, and I organize and get ready and get prepared for that. And so I start my day very early, 7 a.m., and get prepared for that. And I usually do that for about a couple of hours. Then I have a couple of client meetings. And then I'll I'll take a break, go take my kids on a little bike ride, get outside for a little bit. And then it's right back to work. It's literally right back to work. And obviously food in there, I eat lunch and breakfast or whatever. And I try not to eat a huge dinner, although lately I've been eating way too much. I got to get back in shape. But yeah, so I'll do a ton of research and a ton of work on what kind of content I want to bring out. And the tools that I use for organizing my content and all that, I use a lot of notes on my phone, notes on my desktop. It's I don't really use I know a lot of people use Trello and a lot of people use Slack or things. I don't really use any apps per se to help me get organized other than like my scheduling app. I use Acuity and also just email and really Microsoft Office cloud. And that's really pretty much it. And, I'm doing a ton of research on videos that I want to bring to you guys. Thumbnails, I spend hours, sometimes days on thumbnails, and I'm still not happy with any of my thumbnails. I mean, literally, there's never a thumbnail that I'm like, okay, cool, I'm so happy with this. Usually it's passable, and I'll put it out there, but I work hours and hours and hours on thumbnails. And I'm just trying to bring the best content that I can and building my email list. I do use ConvertKit. I have a link in the description if you want a free trial. I use ConvertKit for my email platform, building my email list, sending emails to my email list, making sure that they're getting the value. The pinned comment on YouTube, if you want to join our email list, which I deliver the best content on planet Earth right to your inbox, make sure you do that. And then just spending time with family. I don't really like go to bars. I never even did that before COVID. I don't really go to nightclubs. I'm just an old dude who really is a family guy, and I really only spend time with my family. I'm not really proud of that. I've lost a lot of connections with my friends, which is why Clubhouse has been so perfect to kind of reconnect with people and reconnect with my friends and everything. But I'm not proud of that. Like, I'm really not proud of that. Like, I used to make fun of my dad when I was a kid because my dad never hung out with his friends. And like, when you're young growing up, it's like, how could you not hang out with your friends? Like, that was everything in your 20s and maybe even late 20s, right? But then, as soon as I became married and had a dad, now I realize why my dad never hung out with his friends. He doesn't have any time. Like, I run businesses. I'm running a media company. Like Professor Nez and Nez Nation, I consider it a media company. Whether it's small or big, doesn't matter. This is taking most of my time, and I got to give time to my family. And I'm not the guy to ask for work-life balance because I literally work 24/8, and I'm still working on that. So that's pretty much my whole day. I mean, that's literally what I do day in and day out. And I mean 7 days a week. And we obviously have our live stream every Sunday, so... Rugi, I hope I'm saying that right. Is it Rugi or Rugi? Give me a 1 if it's Rugi. Give me a 2 if it's Rugi. I want to say that right. If I get a lot of audience on Facebook, will it be a bad idea when I delete all those except Facebook? I don't know why you would have to delete it. Just pay more attention to Facebook. You don't have to delete it necessarily. Why would you want to delete it? I definitely agree that you should spend more time on the platforms where you're getting the most engagement. For whatever that goal is, you should definitely spend more time and focus on the platform that gives you the most engagement. But I don't know why you would want to delete your other platforms. I don't think there's a reason that you need to delete. I hope that helps. I don't know if that does. 2. Okay, so it is Rugi. Okay, fantastic. It is Rugi. Great. Fantastic. So Dexter, I hope that helps. I really hope that helps. If you're just coming in, you're watching Office Hours with Professor Nez. We go live every Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, and you know what? Because I was running late today, I didn't even have a chance to blast my email list about the live show. So Josephine was saying, how come nobody's here? That might have a lot to do with it because I didn't even have time to broadcast my email list. And so, but I'm happy with the people who are here. I'll tell you that. Vector in the house. Hybrid Steel. Good to see you. Good to see you, Mike. So let's see. We got another question here. Josephine says, I'd love to hear you open up more about past struggles that caused your anxiety. Thank you so much, Josephine. Yeah, past struggles. A lot of people have heard this before, but it was a mental hell. It was a mental hell. There were days that I didn't even want to leave the house. There were days where I thought I would be Hamlet and literally asked the question to be or not to be. There was a lot of struggles with mental health and anxiety, and I went to every single doctor. I took every single medication. None of it worked. Nothing worked until I actually took ownership of my own life, which is why I rail on education so much, which is why I rail on people who depend on the government to save their lives, who depend on institutions to save their lives. You are the only one you should depend on. Self-reliance, as our great American authors, Emerson and Whitman. You are the sovereign of your own destiny. You are the master of your own domain. Don't depend on anybody. If you depend on the government, if you actually think that whoever is president is going to make a difference in your life, you're lost. If you depend on institutions to make a difference in your life, you're lost. Because even if you go to Harvard University, it's up to you to do something with that information and that education. The professors will share, hopefully, some great information, but it's up to you to take it to the next level. It's up to you to actually execute and actually apply what you've learned. So I'm not saying that medication doesn't work for other people. I've got a lot of friends, colleagues where medication works, but it's more of a symptom. It doesn't really attack the root of the issue. So it's more like just clipping, right, the hedges, or clipping the leaves and branches, when what I kind of hope to advocate is really axing it at the root cause. And so it was hell from 18 to 29, 10 straight years. I was living in hell. My mind was completely dominating over me, and fear and anxiety was a constant. From the moment I woke up to the moment I closed my eyes and went to bed, I was living in hell. I'm surprised I didn't take my own life, to be honest. I'm extremely surprised. I know a lot of people who wouldn't have been able to withstand that. Now, I'm not saying that my anxiety, and I'm not saying that my problems are gone, but they're not as voluminous as they used to be. They're not insane monsters as they used to be. And so what do I mean by taking ownership of my own life? When I was 22, 23, I decided that I'm going to do everything I can to learn about this thing within my in my cranium. And so I studied the mind. I studied Western psychology practices. I studied Eastern methodologies and practices. And I researched and I practiced and I researched and I practiced. And I failed and I succeeded and I failed and I succeeded. And it was just a living hell. But every year I started getting better, because it wasn't until I took ownership of it and really kind of discovering. I think the most liberating day of my life was when I fully embraced the truth that I don't have to take this guy seriously. That was like heaven to me. That changed everything to me. As soon as I realized I don't have to take the dude inside my head seriously, who says, you suck, you're going to die, you're da-da-da-da, you're not good enough, you're not this enough, you're not all those things, everything changed. That I was beyond thought. Everything changed. And so I really, really hope that kind of, I don't know. I don't know what that does. I hope that helps. But it's the same, same thing I try to teach in my classes, which is, really taking ownership of your life. Don't depend on anybody. Another thing too, I don't know if you guys can see this, but here's another example of that. If you can see that scar right there on my elbow. I had a bone disease when I was a kid. I had a really horrific accident, and I had a compound fracture on my arm, and I had osteomyelitis, which is a rare bone infection, and it's almost impossible to treat. Or so I thought. Every doctor that I went to millions of doctors, millions of dudes and dudettes in white coats, all telling me you're going to have to deal with this for the rest of your life. It was horrifically painful. It was horrifically problematic, and I had multiple surgeries. It wasn't until I actually researched and I actually took ownership of it, and I went on my own outside of my health network and found somebody who was literally the Mozart of orthopedic surgery. He was the Mozart of musculoskeletal infections. And Dr. Cierney, who is dead now, he had pancreatic cancer. He died 5 years ago. Dr. Cierney was my angel. And, knock on wood, I haven't had to deal with osteomyelitis. I've been cured for over 10 years now. And it was an absolute blessing. But another example, we take everything that we think these so-called people who are in authority positions, we take it too seriously without ever questioning it. I'm the only professor on planet Earth that says this to my students. I guarantee there's no other professor that says this on planet Earth. On the very first day of class, I tell all of my students, I want you to think I'm full of... And why would I tell my students, I want you to think I'm full of crap? Because I don't want them to just take everything I'm saying for gospel. I want them to question it, find out for themselves, investigate, critically think about it. Does it have value? That's what being a human being is all about. Critical discernment, critical thinking, coming up with your own solutions based on thought, reason, and analyzation. Because of what I've gone through in my life, because of what I've gone through, trying to trust authority figures and just taking their word for gospel. I'm not saying you go around I'm not saying that you go around and distrust everybody. I'm not saying that you walk around paranoid and just like, okay, I should question everything. No, I'm saying trust your intuition. Your intuition is your ultimate guide. There were times that I trusted doctors, I trusted authority figures, not just doctors, and it went against my intuition. But because they had those fancy degrees, because they had all these fancy recommendations, I took them seriously. I took them seriously, and I suffered. I went against my intuition. You don't need Professor Nez. You don't need anybody. You have the ultimate guide in your chest. You have the ultimate professor that lives inside you. The problem is we're not taught. There's no cultivation in our universities and schools on how to listen to your intuition. They'll teach you algebra. They'll teach you history. They'll teach you science. They'll teach you geography and geology, but they won't teach you how to be a human being. They won't teach you how to be self-reliant. They won't teach you the human side of learning. I think they just assume that you're going to learn that on your own, which blows my mind. And so I really hope I hope that inspires you. I hope that makes sense. I really shared a lot there. I don't think I've ever shared any of that on a live stream. And so thank you, Josephine, for allowing me to share that. But it's very, very important that you trust your intuition. If you trust your intuition, you are bulletproof. Nobody will ever be able to stop you again. You go on Clubhouse and you hear all these experts talk about millions, being a millionaire, how to use LinkedIn, how to use YouTube, how to master the internet, how to invest, mindset motivation. You go on these rooms and you hear all this stuff by so-called experts. Just because they have expert next to their title or their name doesn't mean you need to take everything they say for gospel, including me. Including me. I don't want you to take anything I'm saying for gospel. Trust your own intuition. That is your kingdom. Your kingdom. What did Jesus say? The kingdom of God is within. What does that mean? Trust yourself. Trust yourself. I'm not getting religious. I'm the least religious person on the planet. Okay, but I respect truth. I'll tell you that much. And I can see truth when I see it. I can definitely see truth when I see it. So, sorry. Josephine. Oh, I apologize. Josephine says, don't scream, Nez. You scared the crap out of me. Yeah, Mike, it's gonna happen. I'd be shocked if they're not working it out with the developers right now. I'd be absolutely shocked, but it's gonna happen for sure. There's no way that they're just gonna be like, oh, we're just gonna keep this to iOS. So it's gotta happen. Let me just send a message here. I'm getting a text message from my wife real fast. I apologize. So yeah, it's weird to me that it's only on iOS, but I think that's going to change. I definitely think that's going to change. A lot of people have been talking about this, and so very, very important stuff. Hey guys, I just want to say one quick thing, which is that I am so thankful and grateful for you guys. You guys absolutely mean the world to me. It really means a lot to me that you come join me here every single Sunday. I really, really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. But, in the pinned comment, if you want to always be notified when a new video comes out, a new live stream, a new podcast, a new article that will help you earn more, grow faster, and stress less, join that newsletter because it's huge. You're watching Office Hours with yours truly. And we go live every single Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is a live Q&A where we answer all your questions, any questions that you have at all. And if you want me to answer questions for next week, feel free to DM me on Instagram and say, hey, Nez, could you too much coffee, way too much coffee. I don't even need coffee. I've got so much crazy energy anyway. I love the taste of coffee, though. It just gives me that nice, it just gives it to me. And so really, really important, make sure that if you do have any questions that you would like me to answer for next week, or the show's coming up on Sunday, and maybe you want to post it on Friday or Saturday, send me a DM on Instagram and say, hey, Nez, I have a question. Can you answer this on your show? And I will. The reason I like to get questions beforehand too, not only live as well, but beforehand too, is because, it will help somebody else. Your question that you ask me before we go on air, which I'll address and I'll give you credit for, not only is it a shout out to you, which is really cool, but your question will probably more than likely help others. The reason I love doing live Q&As, as well as interviews, right? We had Daryl Eves on the show, is because it's Professor Nez. So my and I don't know why I don't have actually the kind of whole full. I think it might have been me. I just don't have the. So it's Professor_Nez on Instagram, and that's my. So I'll bring it up right here. That's my handle right there. Is Professor Nez. Right here, Professor Nez on Instagram. I got to do this. And so please feel free to ask me a DM. I'm going to take off here in a little bit, but please make sure that you hit subscribe. Please make sure that you hit the bell notification, because that Clubhouse video is going to drop tonight. And I would love for you guys to smash that smasher. And I would love for you guys to really give it some support, because it would mean the world to me. I just said it. It's on the screen right now, Vector. It's on the screen right now. Professor_Nez. That's my Instagram. So go check out my Instagram, follow me there. And then I think the only way that I get your message is if you follow me first, because when I don't get your messages, it's usually from people outside the network. So make sure you follow, then post your question. Thank you so much. Chris Jones in the house. Chris Jones Media in the house. Thank you so much, Dexter. I really appreciate that. And thank you for sharing that link. Man, you are the mod of all mods, man, Dexter. I can't tell you. You, Sweeney, Darlene, I'm so appreciative of you guys being the mods. It really means a lot to me. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Really powerful. And by the way, you see those cool badges next to Joseph's name? If you want to become a member of my channel, support this channel, but also get access to me, we're going to be a lot of perks, a lot of private coaching, private live streams in our private Facebook, our members only Facebook. Make sure you hit that join button down below. I would really appreciate it. And so I've got all sorts of cool badges, cool emojis for members only. And plus, the most important thing at all is you get private coaching from me, Professor Nez. So make sure that you click that join button. And I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, guys, it's been an absolute honor being here with you guys. I love you. Have an absolute wonderful day, and I'll see you guys real soon. Thank you, guys.